What type of insurance coverage is acceptable in a bankruptcy? Hi, I'm Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm an Atlanta area personal bankruptcy attorney. And when I look at budgets, when I'm talking about bankruptcy with my clients, one of the things I always look at is insurance. What type of coverage does my client have? What will pass muster under the bankruptcy code? What do they need? What do they not need? Here's my priorities. Here's what I think you need. I think you need to have some form of life insurance. Ideally, that's going to be term insurance. Whole life insurance or universal life insurance is where you build up cash value. That, in my view, is less desirable. It's an asset for bankruptcy purposes. It's a lot more expensive than term insurance. Term is essentially where you're renting insurance until a certain age. And I think that for bankruptcy purposes, if you're struggling with debt, term life insurance is probably the way to go. But I think you should have insurance because, again, if there's some sort of a catastrophe and you've got a spouse family, then having that life insurance can be a really great thing for your survivors, so that they don't end up with nothing if you should unexpectedly pass away. So I would say term insurance is acceptable, and for bankruptcy purposes, the bankruptcy code does allow an allocation and a budget allocation in the means test budget, which again is a very strict type of budget. It allows it in your regular bankruptcy budget as well, so the courts recognize the importance of having a certain amount of life insurance. Second is health insurance. Again, same issue. If you don't have health insurance and you have an unexpected illness, then that is a big problem. That's going to throw your budget out of whack. It's going to put you in a situation where you have no way to cover expensive procedures or, God forbid, a hospitalization. So health insurance is really important. And also, again, here too, the bankruptcy code allows for an allocation for health insurance in the means test budget as well as the regular bankruptcy budget, which again is a recognition that Congress understands the importance of health insurance. I think renters or homeowners insurance covering contents is also very helpful. This is something that's approved by the bankruptcy court. They will allow it. They're not going to push back on that because, again, if you should be burglarized or if there's a fire, you don't want to have to go and try to figure out a way to repurchase everything in your house, all your household goods, your clothes, furniture, things like that. So having homeowners insurance is not very expensive. It's a good way to protect you in the case of an unexpected disaster at your house. And again, it's something that the courts are not going to push back on at all. A fourth category that I think is really important is disability insurance. And disability insurance is something that can be expensive, or it depends on how much you get. I think it's important to have because statistically you're a lot more likely to become disabled than you are to die. I think it's 4 times more likely. If something should happen to you, this gives you money coming in. Now, there are some that are going to say disability insurance is too expensive, and I do recognize it can be expensive, although again, you don't need to get tens of thousands of dollars of insurance. But disability insurance, I think, is important. Now, I will tell you, speaking as a Social Security disability attorney as well, because I do that kind of work, that do not expect Social Security to step up if you become disabled. Right now, the delays when somebody applies for disability benefits, it can be 2 to 3 years, not months, years, 2 to 3 years before you would be even going in front of a judge. And the approval rates are less than 50%. So the odds of getting Social Security disability if you become disabled are not great. It takes a long time, even if you've got a good case. And I've seen people lose houses, cars, you name it. They become destitute waiting for these long delays. Disability insurance is going to be a lot faster process. Not to say that disability insurance companies don't try to avoid paying you, but at least it's a much faster process. And if you have a legitimate disability, you will get paid. So I think disability insurance, if you can afford it, is helpful. Now, there are some types of insurance you should avoid, in my view. One is, and the big one is, any sort of a credit life insurance, which basically is insurance offered by a mortgage company or a credit card company or a furniture lender, for that matter, that basically has insurance out there so that if something happens to you, if you die, the insurance pays off the debt, pays off the mortgage, pays off the furniture, the jewelry, whatever it may be. Typically, it's a secured type of debt. Now, the problem here is this insurance is for the benefit of not you, it's for the benefit of the creditor. creditor. And typically, if you have homeowners insurance coverage or other life insurance, that will be enough to deal with any residual of what you've got. And if you owe money personally, so if the debt isn't just in your name and you pass away, your heirs are not going to be responsible. So if you are married, let's say, and you pass away, your husband or wife is not going to be responsible for a debt that you've incurred. So there's no reason to get credit life insurance. I'm not going to call it a scam, but it's pretty close. It's basically a waste of money. It's something that is there for the benefit solely of the creditor. It doesn't give you very much benefit at all, and it's much too expensive given what the benefit that you get. So I would stay away from credit life insurance. And there are other types of insurance, pet insurance, things like that, which again I think are just a luxury matter, a luxury item. You don't need those things. If you're again thinking about possibly filing bankruptcy or dealing with some debt issues, only have the essential type of things, and which I covered before. So I think you should avoid some of these more exotic type of insurance, specialty type of insurance for things that are just, it would be nice to have if money was no object, but not really necessary for survival. And that's what we're really talking about. If bankruptcy is an option, we're in survival mode. Only have what you absolutely have to have. And again, I think a good guideline is, what does the bankruptcy court allow you to claim in a means test budget, in a full bankruptcy budget? Are they going to object to it? And again, things like property insurance, things like health insurance, obviously automobile insurance is a given because you got to have that. Disability insurance, those are things that no one's going to question in bankruptcy, which again says to me that the courts, Congress feel like these things are essential and good things to have. So that's what I would suggest to you as far as looking at insurance. I'm not going to talk about the amounts that you should get. That's kind of a personal choice, but just in terms of categories. And again, be wary about any creditor who tries to sell you credit life insurance. Stay away from that, not necessary. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube, like it on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and like our Facebook page. Any questions about debt, financing, problems that you're having with debt, creditors that are harassing you, pick up the phone, call me, 770-393-4985, or email Ginsberg, which is my last name, at gmail.com. Hope you found this helpful again. Reach out to me if you need me, and until next time, I wish you the best. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan, and I hope you found this video helpful. I'd like to invite you to download my free Debt Destroyer Survival Kit right now. I've packed my survival kit with answers to the questions I've heard from clients for over 25 years here in the Atlanta area. Inside the survival kit, you'll find clear, easy to understand answers to critical topics about how to solve debt problems once and for all, including how do I protect my stuff, my house, car, and personal property if I file for bankruptcy? Are there any legitimate alternatives to bankruptcy? Will I ever get credit again, and if so, when? What mistakes must I avoid to get the most benefit out of bankruptcy? You can claim your copy right now by visiting my atlanta-bankruptcy.com website. And you are always welcome to use the email form on my website to ask me anything about debt and personal bankruptcy in Atlanta. www.atlanta-bankruptcy.com. And as always, I wish you the best.